Awakening is not tested in silence. It is tested in life, in traffic, in relationships, in work, in conflict, in uncertainty. The question is no longer, can I rest as I am? The real question becomes, can I live fully? Without returning to the false self. Why the ego quietly returns after deep realizations, something subtle happens. Life resumes. Responsibilities return. Challenges appear. And slowly, almost unnoticed, the old voice whispers again, I should control this. I need to fix that. I must protect myself. Joel taught that this return is not failure. It is conditioning completing itself. Awakening does not erase conditioning overnight. It exposes it to light. The difference between function and identification here is the key most people miss. You can function as a person without being the person. You can speak, plan, decide, respond without identity attaching to it. The body-mind still operates, but it no longer claims ownership. Life moves. But no one inside says, this is happening to me. Real-life work without ego, a man returned to a demanding job after awakening. Deadlines remained, pressure remained, but anxiety did not. Why? Because action was happening, without psychological resistance. Joel pointed out, stress is not caused by action. Stress is caused by identity attached to action. When identity drops, effort becomes light. Relationships without self-defense, this is where truth becomes visible. When someone criticizes you, do you collapse inward? When someone misunderstands you, do you rush to explain? When someone disagrees, do you feel diminished? If the answer is no, awakening is stabilizing. Not because you are detached, but because there is no image left to protect. Real life conflict without reaction. A woman noticed something strange. People still challenged her. But reactions no longer appeared. Words came calmly. Silence came naturally. Joel taught that when the self is absent, clarity replaces defense. Suffering vs. pain. The final distinction: pain may still arise. The body can hurt. Loss can occur. Circumstances can change. But suffering requires identity. Suffering needs a voice that says, why is this happening to me? When that voice is absent, pain moves, but does not linger. Real life. Loss without collapse. A man lost something precious. Grief came. Tears flowed. But despair did not take root. Joel said, pain is natural. Suffering is optional and only possible when identity returns. The world does not need your ego. Many fear that without ego, life will fall apart. But the opposite is true. The ego is not intelligence. It is interference. When it steps aside, action becomes timely, words become appropriate, help appears naturally, decisions align effortlessly. You do not withdraw from the world. You meet it without distortion. Service without self-importance. At this stage, service changes. You don't help to feel needed. You don't give to be seen. You respond when response is needed. You remain silent when silence serves. Joel called this impersonal love. Love without agenda, care without ownership. The most subtle trap, spiritual identity. Even now, one trap remains. The identity of being someone who understands. This too must fall. Truth does not belong to you. You belong to truth. The moment you carry realization as identity, you've stepped out again. What stays when everything falls away? No title, no role, no position. Just presence, moving as life. Not trying to be humble, not trying to be awakened. Simply being. Simple daily orientation as you move through life. Remember this gently. You don't need to return to I am. You never left. Just notice when identity tries to come back and don't argue with it. Let it pass. If this part clarified how awakening lives in daily life, like this video so others can find it. Subscribe for teachings that bring truth into real living not escape from life. And comment below. I live without returning. When you're ready, we can continue.